And we're back. Hello, my fam. It is Perez, the queen of all media, the original influencer, and unfortunately, cameras are not allowed in the federal courtroom where Diddy is awaiting trial, and jury selection began yesterday as he faces charges of trafficking, racketeering, and prostitution. Today, we've learned a lot more about the latest potential jurors and what they're having to deal with before either being selected to move forward or dismissed. Things moved a lot quicker today, with 39 prospective jurors being questioned individually by the judge. Of those, only 16 moved forward in the process, including 10 men and 6 women. In the extensive questionnaire that everybody had to fill out, they were asked the following. Quote, there may be evidence of graphic videos and photographs, including videos of physical violence in connection with this case. Is there anything about the nature of this evidence that would make it difficult for you to be fair and impartial? They also were asked, there may be evidence of sexually explicit videos, photographs, and language in connection with the case. Would such evidence interfere with your ability to sit fairly and impartially in hearing the evidence or lack of evidence? Given the charges against the disgraced music mogul, these questions are not surprising. What is surprising are some of the reasons why jurors were dismissed today. My favorite moment in today's proceedings occurred when the judge dismissed a potential juror after this man shared that he was arrested 7 years ago for possession of the marijuana. Judge Subramanian said, if I asked you not to use the marijuana during the trial, would that be hard for you? The man responded that it would be a difficult request for the case, and the last time he used the marijuana was the previous evening. The judge dismissed him, and after he left the courtroom, Combs's defense joked in the courtroom that jurors shouldn't use the marijuana during the trial. Also today, a filing notice was given to the court with yet another new lawyer added to Diddy's team. Jurors were repeatedly asked if they or a family member or a friend had been a victim of SA, harassment, or DV, and whether they or a loved one had ever been charged or accused of such crimes. Potential jurors were also asked about their social media use, particularly in relation to Diddy, if they had ever liked any posts from him or about him. Many potential jurors were asked about their feelings towards law enforcement or the government in general. Combs' team even asked jurors to describe their favorite music and their opinions about the hip-hop and rap music industry. The questionnaire also asked jurors if they are open-minded about alternative sexual lifestyles. The first juror to be questioned by Judge Subramanian today was a woman who told the court that she was a victim of an attempted rape and did not feel that the police handled it well. It was also revealed that on her questionnaire, she wrote that Diddy has money and could buy his way out. She was excused. I find it really interesting to see how this all played out in real time. For example, this next potential juror, a woman. She revealed that her father is in faculty support for victims of SA on a campus in Indiana. She says that she has not spoken with her dad about it, and that would not impact her take on the case. On further examination, she says that she learned about the Diddy drama from watching CNN and leaned negatively toward Diddy, believing he has committed some crimes. Asked if she could be fair, she says yes, but after exiting the room, the defense team moves to strike her for cause. The judge agrees. One of the jurors today who faced the longest questioning was a man who told the court that he had multiple run-ins with police in his early teens and 20s, including what he described as stop and frisk incidents and one instance of assaulting a police officer. Prosecutors argued that that man could struggle to be unbiased after negative experiences with police, but Diddy's defense argued he's now 38 and has grown and changed. The man said he works in New York's transit department and that he often interacts with law enforcement in his role. The judge ruled that he could move forward without a bias toward police. Another man, a pilot for American Airlines, said he was worried about being biased against Combs because, quote, the music and LA lifestyle is very different than how I was brought up. He said, describing details he had previously heard about the allegations against Combs. Quote, you can't unring the bell. I can't unhear something I've heard. Diddy's team took issue with the comment, arguing that the man had seen and heard details about the case that would make him struggle to be impartial. However, the judge hit back that jurors, knowing about Diddy's celebrity and seeing previous media coverage of his, is simply part of a case this prominent. A woman whose son is the executive assistant for the district attorney in Rockland County was excused. A man who has 7 stents in his heart was also excused. Bless him. One of the potential jurors to move forward is a woman who is a psychology major in school who has taken SH training, said she could be fair, and said her experience of lawsuits concerned a fatal car crash involving her mother. Her sister, who passed away from cancer, was also an abuse victim, having gotten into substance abuse. There were no objections from either side to her participation. Another potential juror to move forward is a doctor of surgical pathology at Mount Sinai. Isn't he busy? Potential jurors moving forward live all over the New York area, from Hell's Kitchen and other parts of Manhattan being mentioned to Bronxville, Westchester, the Bronx, and it is worth noting that the boroughs of Queens, Brooklyn, Staten Island, and the suburbs of Long Island are not in the Southern District of New York federal court area, so potential jurors are not from there. Interestingly, their ages range from 87 at the highest today to 38 being the youngest. They work in healthcare, legal services for women, kitchen design, manufacturing, banking, teaching, and the MTA. They go to NBC Nightly News, Today, the FB, Morning Joe, the YT, Reddit, and more for their news. Musically, they're into R&B, hip-hop, salsa, reggaeton, jazz, emo rock, Billy Joel, and more. Diddy has worn yellow jail uniforms in pre-trial hearings. However, for the trial, the judge said that he can have up to 5 button-down shirts, 5 pairs of pants, 5 sweaters, 5 pairs of socks, and 2 pairs of shoes without laces. Under federal court rules, as I told you, there won't be any televised aspects of it. There won't even be pictures, unfortunately. There will be, however, courtroom sketches. Not quite the same thing. And there will be me as well, bringing you the latest from the Diddy trial every single day. Yes, I intend to cover it like the soap opera that it is. But there are real women here who are going to be testifying and sharing some real serious things. I hope they get justice. Things are moving along and opening arguments are scheduled tentatively to start on Monday. So if you want more Diddy, make sure you're following me, and thoughts on everything we've learned today, let's discuss in the comment section.